Howdy folks, and welcome back to Frieren. Today we're going to be watching Season 1, Episode 6, which is titled The Hero of the Village, a title which I have to assume is going to apply to Stark after he inevitably helps us slay this dragon. It could go to Frieren if Stark just fails and then she ends up figuring out something what to do, but I'm assuming that Stark here is going to reluctantly join us after being called out last time by Frieren, saying you can only keep this up for so long, this charade of you being this brave hero. It's, a bit of an interesting case, this Stark, but I'm willing to see him through. He's gonna have an arc just like Frieren, just like Fern. And I'm excited to see it, there's just a lot of dragons happening in my life right now. This episode here, we're presumably going to face off with this solar dragon. One of the last things I recorded was Vox Machina Season 2, Episode 1, Rise of the Chroma Conclave, which had 4 big dragons coming to take over and kind of assert themselves into society. As I'm recording this, it is Father's Day, hence my Rad Dad shirt. Also this Sunday, Season 3 of House of the Dragon premieres. So just, I'm lousy with dragons here in my life right now. So hopefully this is one of the good ones. I said in that Vox Machina episode that dragons are kind of a mixed bag for me. Not always do they live up to the greatness that they're supposed to. While in Vox Machina, like I said, they're like these setting up for these big bads of the season to be these huge all-powerful things that just like destroy the city. This one just seems to be a creature at home in the wild, a relatively dangerous creature compared to everything else here, but still just kind of a guy. As I compared Frieren a couple episodes ago, saying that she, in all of her travels, despite how long she's lived and everything she's done, she doesn't really have the recognition or notoriety that you would kind of expect for someone who's lived so long and presumably has done so much, part of a party that saved the world. I called her just a guy, and so is this dragon, it seems. It seems like this dragon is just like a creature that lives here. So will it be a good fight? Who knows? I hope so, given, the reputation of the show being what a lot of people have conveyed to me is one of their favorites, if not their favorite show at this point. I'm hoping that every little thing is going to be a good arc. So I'm hoping that this fight with the dragon will be pretty good. And if Stark indeed can, cleave this thing in twain with his axe, then, he's just got to get one big shot off. To make one more Monster Hunter comparison, it's like maining Greatsword and just trying to get that really, really good level 3 charge slash in on something. Not the easiest thing to do, but when you can pull it off, it feels so good. So let's scooch over here and get ready to watch as I take this opportunity to thank you for watching me watch this thing. Hey, do all the YouTube things. We got a lot more Frieren to go. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you see when more of these reactions come out. Don't forget to leave me a like on this here video and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of the episode, of the reaction, anything else you want to tell me. And as always, if you want to see any of these Frieren reactions uncut, unedited, the next one a little bit early, there's a link to join the Patreon down in the description below. Totally optional if you just want to support the channel just a little bit extra. I'd appreciate it. But I also appreciate you just watching here on YouTube. Let's get into it. Frieren Season 1, Episode 6, The Hero of the Village. Starting up in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, there's Stark. Just like where we left off here. As I was complaining, like what felt like mid-conversation, right? Straight into the OP. So it's interesting. This is the second episode in a row now that we have had a little bit of a cold open. Last episode was a little bit longer than this one, whereas this one it felt more like just a previously on. Nothing new given to us. Literally the line that ended the last episode, leading us right into the OP. But regardless, as the OP plays, my tea for tonight is chamomile. So, as always, if you're enjoying a beverage watching this, what are you drinking? Let me know. Episode 6, The Hero of the Village. Will he cleave deeper into the cliff? Find out today. And after I got here, their expressions changed, right? Yep. He just goes into battle and immediately dies, and everyone's just like, oh, Oh no.
この村が襲われていないのはただの竜の気まぐれだ。
Yeah. It's just a creature. It's just minding its own business, right? Like I said.
竜が村を襲ったらシュタルク様は戦うのですか？
この村の英雄シュタルクなんだ。俺が守らなきゃならないんだよ。
Yeah. Doesn't much have a choice, right?
実際は逃げ出しちまうかも。
I mean, I guess he does have a choice when he puts it like that.
額の傷だって魔物と戦いたくなくて師匠と喧嘩した時にできたものだ。
Ison smacked him good. Oh shit, he did.
俺に失望したんだろうさ。結局俺は師匠に一度だって褒められたことはなかった。
Damn. I mean, to be fair, it does seem really hard to earn Ison's praise.
逃げないと思います。偉人もわかりませんが怖かったことを思い出したのです。魔物と初めて戦った時です。修行はそれまでに十分すぎる。
Was this the other episode?
ですが恐怖で足がすくみ。
Are we calling back to the illusion one?
追い詰められ覚悟を決めた時体が動いたのです。必要なものは覚悟だけだったのです。必死に積み上げてきたものは決して裏切りません。
Yeah. That's why you train, right?
覚悟
Oh, yeah.
か。
The blood dripping from his hands.
いませんね。逃げたか。期待していたんだけど。
No, I don't think so.
フェルン、竜と追いかけっこだ。
Anything but that. Look at Fern just hanging onto the tree. Frieren, I was right over there. You just didn't look hard enough.
一つ約束してくれないか。俺が途中で死んだとしても竜は必ず仕留めてほしいんだ。
Maybe they'll erect a statue of him. The dragon already looks done with their
じゃあ
bullshit.
一丁やるか。
手が震えています。
怖いものは怖いんだ。
Yeah. Like I said, you don't just hop into monster hunting with a Crimson Fatalis.
アイゼンと同じだ。
Though to be fair, the threat level probably isn't
これは強
as
敵だな。
such.
アイゼン、手が震えてる。怖いの？
怖がることは悪いことではない。
Yeah, it's healthy to a certain
この
extent.
恐怖が俺をここまで連れてきたんだ。
And he did refer to himself as a coward, right? Wow, the
震
parallels.
え方まで同じだ。
Wow.
師匠も
30 seconds it is, right?
怖かったんだな。
I don't have a watch.
攻撃してきませんね。警戒している。やっぱりそうか。
Okay. Yo, the animation popping off though. Look at that.
賢い生き物だ。強い相手に自分から喧嘩を売りに行くようなバカじゃない。アイゼンがシュタルクを殴ったのはあいつが弱かったからでも。
This is a really long sequence of incredible
喧
animation.
嘩別れをしてしまっていてな。
Oh, we didn't get this last time.
反射的に体が動いたんだ。怖かったんだ。
Wow.
俺は怖かったんだよ。フリーレ
Wow. That's...
ンの弟子は
Oh, shit.
とんでもない戦士になる。
And the fact that Stark took it so... Yep. He broke those claws in one hit. Oh, shit. Nah, I'm hyped now. God, alright. And I have things to say, but I don't want to interrupt this. So I'm just going to let this play out. And hopefully I remember the point I was going to make. Yo, he got that sonic boom going? Frieren's like, no, you got this, actually. Yeah, she is, actually.
なんで撃たねえ。
もう死んでいるよ。
Oh, God. He one-shot, well, technically two, but... Good lord.
俺が
Yo, and that thing's disintegrating.
撃ったのか。
It's like it's been hit with the fucking Zoltrak, right? It's the same kind of thing we saw with Koala. Or Kaval, as it's technically supposed to be.
期待以上だ。偉いぞ。
Okay, so once again, to continue the Monster Hunter kind of references, You know, I mentioned about Hunter rank 1 going up a Crimson Fatalis. This was like having G rank armor and going back to fight like a Great Jaggy or something like that, or a Velocidrome. Whatever your early Monster Hunter monster of choice is, take your pick. And it just fucking dies. Yeah. Just incredible stuff. But the point I was gonna make is Aizen confided in Frieren that they left in anger, that he was scared of him because of presumably how powerful he was, right? He's going to make a fantastic warrior. I did it out of instinct, like out of self-preservation, right? I had to hit him. But what Stark took from that is my master sucks. He hit me. I had to dip. And it's like just, you know, once again, going back to the whole lack of communication thing, things in the show are so much better when characters communicate with each other, right? You know, Frieren disappears for 50 years to come back just for the meteor shower. And, you know, other characters had been conversing with each other, had been exchanging letters. Other characters had seen each other within the past 50 years. And Frieren, none of that communication whatsoever. And thus, she was completely left in the dark with everything. So just a little bit of communication goes such a long way. The fact that Aizen was able to communicate with Frieren, he's going to be a great warrior someday. A fantastic one. Very, very strong. Yet he couldn't say that to Stark. So hopefully through this, with that little bit of experience in his belt, maybe Stark can maybe see his worth. Just, you know, like I said, absolutely phenomenally animated fight scene there. They were, you know, we're almost halfway done with this episode. Like, I feel like we just started. I still feel like we're within the first 5 minutes of this episode, but we're 10 minutes in. That's incredible stuff right there. But just the fact that he was able to deal with this dragon so quickly, like a lot of the fights in the show have gone so far, very, very fast. Just a 1 or a 2 shot. Like, he had one shot where he like took out some of the claws, and then the one where he was up above and then like came down on it from above. And then that was it. That was the whole fight. Thinking back to, once again, Caval, when Frieren, all they had to do was defend for a second. She got up in the air and Zoltracked his ass, right? Just, you know, one shot at him. And I'm wondering if that's how a lot of these fights are going to go. Like, it, and I don't want to compare it to One Punch Man, but it's really similar to the moment where One Punch Man finally, Saitama finally, like, he like punched somebody and it just like kind of took off his armor. So it's like he needed actually more than one punch to finally defeat somebody. And just that being like the climax of season 1. Like, I'm wondering how long it's going to take for us to get like a fight where we just don't one shot whatever it is. And once again, thinking back to the whatever they fought last time, which I'm assuming that's what Fern was talking about, coming up against a monster. I froze, I panicked, but then I locked in and I blasted it. I think that was that last episode that she was talking about, the Phantoms of the Dead. Seeing that monster, and I'm really trying to rack my brain to remember if Frieren blasted it or if Fern actually did. I'm pretty sure Fern actually ended up pulling the trigger. But just the fact that she kind of relayed the information with a little bit more embellishment, at least what was going on in her mind, whereas we kind of saw that moment from Frieren's point of view, that it was just like, she froze up, couldn't do it. Yet, you know, Fern was going through the damn thing, right? So just kind of interesting to kind of get the opposite perspectives of a lot of information of all these characters that we hadn't gotten yet. So we're definitely filling in a lot of blanks here. But let us, let's collect this spell that lets us see through clothes and see if they do any silly jokes with it. Yo, that I've never seen Frieren so elated. No more than 3. Oh, it's a shame Heiter is dead with this. It was a little ridiculous. She's the reason it took 10 years after all, probably. Oh, it was fun. And that's kind of me watching these kind of shows, right? Ridiculous and fun makes it all the more fun to watch and record. Yeah, now he truly is the hero of the village, right? But even now, the village that doesn't even need a hero, because he dealt with their one issue that they had, right?
あまり面白い魔法ではあり
Oh,
ませんね。
Fern's doing it.
悪かったね。面白い体じゃなくて。
Oh, God.
ちっさ。
They did. They did do a joke with it.
師匠が俺を連れてけって言ったんだろ。それに俺も
Yo, come on. It's not his fault. It's cold outside. Maybe the first day of summer here, but it could be middle of winter there. You know, I bet that spell's gonna come in handy at some point to be able to see through clothes. There's gonna be a moment where it's super important that we took the time to do this. Chekhov's Emperor's Clothes, I call it. 28 years after the death of Himmel, fortress city of Val. Oh yeah, they were supposed to pass through the northern checkpoint, right?
いつ頃になりそうですか？
Yeah. It's not his job to know, right? Monsters that look like people, people that look like monsters. It's complicated. Frieren could just fly over this damn wall, too.
いい対応ではありませんでしたね。そうだね。あれは優秀な衛兵だよ。
He's just doing his job.
ほら、ここで解散。私宿取ってくるから。
Yeah, time to explore this shit town.
一人で行く。
Damn, holy shit, Fern.
最近では回路もダメになったって話だぜ。北側諸国の軍は討伐に動くらしいが、関所が開くのは早くても2年は先だろうな。
2 years? Of course. Like we've said, this journey's gonna take a long time, right?
ジャンボベリースペシャル。
Nice.
来た時はガキだったから全部食えなくて。そうか。俺が大きくなったんだな。
According to Fern, not all of you.
ガキの頃は何もかもが大きかったのに。あれほど広かった師匠の背中でさえ、いつの間にか小さくなっちゃっていた。
時の流れってのは残酷だよな。
Ain't that just the way, huh? Fern's just like, give me that. She's asserting her dominance.
この町で2年以上待つことになりそうだと言われたら、どう思いますか？
Would you be fine with that?
嫌だけど。
そうですよね。嫌ですよね。
何この人。
安心しました。スターク様って普通だったんですね。
No, it's Frieren that sucks.
関所を越える方法か。いいぜ。探すの手伝うよ。
Yeah, can you just take your axe and just like
飛んで
slam
上
through
から
it?
越えちまうってことはできないのか？
Yeah, that's what I said.
北側諸国との国境には限界高度まで強力な結界が張られていて通過できないそうです。
Okay. That actually makes a ton of sense. Well done.
門が開かなきゃどうにもならねえ。よし。次はダメ元で衛兵の詰め所行くか。
Fucking Strait of Hormuz over here.
シュタレク様がとても協力的だと思いまして、
Well, yeah, I just said I don't want to be here for 2 years.
私以上に必死なように見えます。
まあ、あまり時間がないからな。
Excuse me?
ここ。いい景色。
No, 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 no. Go back to that, Stark. Mr. Stark, do you not feel so good?
俺たちはこの町から北側諸国に。
Yeah, even then as a kid, he was still taller
どん
than
な旅だ
Ison.
ったんだ、師匠。
It was ridiculous and fun.
普段は自分のことを何も話さないくせに、勇者一行の冒険を楽しそうに語ったんだ。
Best time of his life, right?
たった10年の冒険を何よりも
That
大切にして
mere
いた。
10-year adventure strikes
きっと
again,
フリーレ
right?
ンだってそうなんだろう。
No, actually, I think this part of it, we have a little bit more time in this episode. But what I was gonna say is, he just said, I think the same is true for Frieren, right? That 10-year journey was the best part of her life. I think at this point, she wishes that it was, right? Because she spent this entire series since the death of Himmel, right? They keep reminding us how long it's been since his death, that she's really truly started living her life, right? So I think that she wishes that the 10 years she spent on that journey was the best part of her life, but I think that she's doing her best to make this part of her life the best part. So I think he's wrong there, I think Frieren wishes that he was right, but unfortunately I don't think so. But you know, what do they say? When's the best time to plant a tree? 10 years ago. When's the second best time? Right now, right? So, Frieren's just doing the best with what she has. But also just to kind of go back to what Stark said, that he doesn't have much time. Is he like terminally ill or something? Like, I need to know more about that, which I'm assuming we will. But you can't just bring up something like that and then just not add on to it. Like, that's gonna get me thinking for days, man. And until I watch the next episode and then they don't bring it up, and then I'm gonna watch the next episode and they don't bring it up, and I'm gonna be like, what the hell is wrong with this kid? Why? Oh God, and I'm gonna be worried. I'm gonna be worried up until we find out. Is it just like a turn of phrase because he's styles himself as a hero and a great warrior, and they're destined to die in battle, just like the apprentice mages? I don't know. I just met this kid and I'm already fearing for his damn life, man. And for forces outside of our control. In a world full of magic, I'm assuming there's healing spells and everything, but this seems to be something that he's, dead set on the fact that is going to make him dead set. And, I don't like that. Makes me really nervous. But, we'll find out in due time, I guess, right?
師匠はもう旅ができるような年じゃない。だから俺はよ、師匠の代わりに
Yeah.
くだらなくて楽しい旅をたくさん計
And I already had one ridiculous one today with that invisible clothes spell.
俺にできる恩返しはこのくらいだからさ。あんまりのんびりしていると師匠が死んじまうんだ。
Oh, is that what he meant? Oh, see, now I was worried. He's also, I have a brain tumor. Is she trying to sneak around? Yo, Frieren's mannerisms are so funny to me. How she was just like barely standing behind that tree in the last episode. Oh, she's in trouble already, isn't she? Oh! Yo, why is that guard built like Jotaro Kujo? Star Platinum! Oh.
待って、すごく嫌な流れな気がする。
この町の城代として謝罪いたします。
Is this someone she
い
knows?
や、気にしてないよ。この人は衛兵の仕事をしただけだし。
また北側へ旅立つおつもりなのですな。
Yeah, he was probably there last time, right?
僕は今、魔王軍の残党との紛争が絶えないと聞きます。現状を憂えてのことでしょう。その志、まさに英雄のごとし、関所はご自由に。
Well, everything went better than expected. And also, once again, her mannerisms as she was saying, like, my apologies, all the things. Obviously, she's not comfortable talking to people like that. But just like every little mannerism that she has makes me very happy.
師匠もこんな感じで北側に旅立ったんだな。
Yeah. Just like it, huh?
魔法の研究したかったな。
They had a spell I didn't have. Well, okay. Our first opportunity for a place where we could have theoretically stayed for quite some time. But, the universe had other plans for us. And for the, fortunately for Stark and Fern, we didn't have to. Even though Frieren was fine to do so. But, you just can't do that every now and again. Frieren's really trying to make my Oracle prediction come true, that their journey to the north is going to take way longer than 10 years, just because they're going to constantly be stopping to help people, right? I also did posit that it could be significantly less, but I'm erring more on the side of it'll take longer, just because I know how Frieren is. But we've already seen that first little bit of friction between the group of Fern and Stark kind of conversing with each other, be like, hey, I don't want to be stuck here. We got to do our best to get the fuck out of here. And I'm honestly shocked that Fern didn't say anything like, can you cut through the wall with given all your training, right? Unless the magical barrier also extends to mighty axe strikes. Who knows? But regardless, we got through. Once again, more parallels, and we see once again how important the parallels are, not just for Frieren, who already said she likes to retrace the steps of her former party, doing so to get to understand him a little bit better, but also in terms of for Stark, who wants to have ridiculous fun adventures that he can go back and tell Ison, look what I've done. Look what, your training has led me to this path where I can now have these adventures and be the hero, much like, like you trained me to be, and like Himmel, your companion, right? Even if people might consider this, and see, once again, I don't know what. I know someone in a comment was trying to tell me what the hero designation is, because like I said, in that first episode, I was a little bit confused as to why there's a difference between like Ison, who is considered like a warrior or a fighter, and then Himmel, the hero, right? And, we've definitely seen personality differences that Himmel went around helping people wherever help was needed, whereas Ison is just kind of a strong dude, right? So I don't know if it's necessarily just a personality thing. But I'm starting to think that if you kind of considered the hero of the party to be the leader who kind of says, oh, wait, let's stop and help these people, right? That would be Frieren. Frieren is building herself up here for her arc to be the hero, right? Even though she is the mage. So it'll be interesting to see if after all this, Frieren herself is considered to be, and and I know that they said there's a lot of fighting going on up north, but this, her goal isn't even necessarily a heroic one, right? To get to the land of the dead, to converse with Himmel once again. It's almost, I don't want to say anti-hero or selfish, but it kind of is a little bit. It's for Frieren personally. Yes, she's going to help people along the way, but she's not on this journey to help those people, right? Whereas in the past, they were on that journey to stop the Demon King, right? There was a big singular threat that, trickled down into many smaller threats that were making problems all throughout the world. And they specifically went out to do that. Anything that Frieren does on this journey is like almost accidental heroism, which is a really interesting juxtaposition to have. So I'm really curious to see as we progress through the thing, how any attitudes might seem to change, especially as we develop both Fern and Stark into the growing up adults that they are, young adults now, but will be full-fledged, full-grown adults by the end of the series, right? So I don't know, it's really weird, like these tiny little things that like you just shift one knob just a little bit in one direction and it changes almost the entire feel of the show, right? One little aspect of a character, can just change everything, right? It's interesting. We got ourselves a nice little group, a little bit smaller than the group that we've come to know. I still don't know what we're going to do about healing, since I'm assuming that was kind of the priest's duty to a certain extent. And like I said, that question did kind of get answered to me. Stark seeing himself as not having much time because he wants to report back to Ison. He could write him letters, right? But I know that there's a pride in telling these tales of the journeys you've had, the survival that you've done in person, right? Like, look, I did all these things and I made it back to you, right? So on one hand, I do get that, and I'm glad that there's nothing more serious with Stark, but I feel a little bit silly given how freaked out I was at his little I don't have much time and needing to follow back up with that. We got there eventually, but hey, a good episode. Glad that we ended on like a bit of a final note for the episode, not mid-conversation. We have made it through the checkpoint into the north, so we do know that there are remnants of the Demon King's forces up there, so I'll be curious to see what trouble we find ourselves getting into, what heroism we can do, doing this little bit of side quest cleanup right from the main quest. So hey, like I said, lots more Frieren to go, and I'm just excited to get on with it. So what did you think of this episode, dear viewer? Did you love this one? Was this just kind of a decent little thing? Like, hey, after all the time we spent in the city, I completely forgot about the dragon fight. I feel like I've talked enough about that right after it happened. But you know, gotta take the episode as a whole, right? So overall, a pretty good one. I wouldn't say it matches up to like episode 3 or probably episodes 3. Well, 1 was just such a strong start. 1 and 3 are probably my favorite ones so far. This one doesn't really quite reach those heights for me, but you know, still a good fun one overall. So hey, don't forget to let me know what you think in a comment below. Don't forget to leave a like on your way out, and I'll catch you next time for the next episode of Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Take easy, everybody.